What's up, YouTube? Here with Aiden Thorne.
How's it going, YouTube?
Just top forward.
Got smashed in top four. It's very upsetting. Bottle O'Brien hurts.
How was your tournament experience, besides top four getting smashed?
Besides top four getting smashed, the tournament experience was actually incredible since we had 71 people, first of all being the biggest KMC to date.
More than expected.
And in addition to that, everyone ran pretty much different decks. I guess I can't say that because what Light Water Darkness was like in everywhere. But I saw a lot of Greed Dragons, I saw a lot of Rogue decks I'd never seen before, and pretty much I only played the same deck 3 times. That was pretty cool. The coolest deck I saw was actually the guy who went 7-0.
Yeah.
Smashed me.
Awesome deck.
Before we went to top 8, then I beat him first round of the top 8.
Yeah, I got his deck profile, so.
It was pretty sweet. Alright, any more questions or should we start?
Got any?
No? Questions?
Let's get started.
Alright.
Just try and make them upside down.
Yeah,
Cool.
Relax, man, I got you. Alright, first off we got 3 Lux, which is pretty much generic card for protecting your dragons, makes it cost less and you can attack with it early
Good
if you
stuff.
need to. Not too much explaining there. Saves your dragons when they explode. We have 2 Jade Monitor. And I guess Jade Monitor was a better choice than Star Lantern for the most part, simply because he can counterattack at 4,000. And that made a lot of difference with cards like Keeper of Dawn, or other cards that were 4,000 or so that I needed to trade with. Laser Arm Drakon, though I didn't play against any Rush today, he can trade with that. That's a really big deal. Star Lantern, pretty much anyone with a brain plays around him, so not a big deal there. Next up, we have 3 Keeper of Dawn. I saw a lot of Light Water Darkness decks running 2. And while 2 is alright, I run a 50 card deck first of all, so my deck is big and it's made to deck out the mirror match, and it works pretty well. I've decked out a lot of people.
I heard you were running 60. People are spreading that rumor around.
They're liars, they're frauds. I run 50. 50. What am I playing, Magic?
I don't even know. I was like, whoa, that's a big deck.
That's a pretty big deck. Well, that's what she said. Thank you. But yes, Keeper of Dawn at 3 because recursion is really important and I really hate Infernus.
Yes.
3 Storm Spark Blast. I normally only ran 2, but I upped my deck to 19 triggers. Which hilariously, I never got more than 1 trigger a game, so I don't know what was going on with that. But 3 triggers. For the most part, Storm Spark Blast is one of the best cards in the game. It's mass removal in the highest degree if you have a field, and it auto wins mirror matches if you have a field. You guys sit there building a field, you Storm Spark Blast, they might as well pick up. That's game. Assuming you know how to attack in the correct order. Next up, we have 3 Lyra, and this is one of the best cards in the game.
Yeah.
6 cost 6,000, put your opponent back an entire turn. Plus, it's a double breaker, and you can start beating people with it. Like, there's no words to explain this card. I would actually...
Get her out earlier with birds, too. Don't forget that. Insane card.
One of my most embarrassing losses that I had was... Turn 2 Lux against... My opponent played turn 2 Lux, turn 3 Nyx, turn 4 Lyra, turn 5 Tatsurion, and I just died.
That sounds really good.
It was the fastest death I've ever had, ever. It was horrible.
Birdies.
He also, the person who did it, just lost in top 4. And then, of course, 3 Andromeda. I don't really need to go over that.
Why do you... No.
Oh, I do? Okay.
No, don't.
Alright, that's it for my light section, though.
That's a lot of lights.
It is a lot of light. For my multi-civ, I run 2 Sarikon, Storm Dynamo, and this guy is actually really awesome. He was a lot better before everyone on the planet splashed 3 root traps, but now that everyone doesn't do that, he blocks Bolt Tail and kills it, he blocks Sabretooth and kills it. When he dies, you draw 3 cards. Like, that's the biggest part, because you can sit him down and force people to attack into him. Get 3 cards, card advantage, pretty key. Plus, he rounds off my blue to make sure I had it. A couple of times throughout the tournament, the fact he's multi-civ actually became a problem, because I would want to have 1 more mana and be like, whatever I draw goes to mana, and I would draw him and be like...
Comes in tapped, right?
Yep. So I could not use him to the full benefit. Overall though, still really good card, did a lot of great stuff. Then we have 3 Logo Scan. Drawing cards, card advantage, great. Pretty self-explanatory. We have 3 Spy Mission. And this was my newest addition when I made the deck 50, just because I needed to be able to dig for cards at a moment's notice, just getting cards important, so more draw. I didn't like Trial and Error because I didn't like discarding one, and the turn 5 slot was almost too important because Death Smoke happens on it. and far too often I need to death smoke my opponent. Then we have 3 Crystal Memory, which I'm pretty sure is played in every deck right now that runs water, except his. He's not cool enough for it. And Crystal Memory is just, you have an extra copy of every card in your deck. It's ridiculous. I run 1 Water Spout Gargoyle as the last card of my water. He's the 10th card, Sarikhan makes it 12. And this card was actually really relevant throughout the tournament. He can bounce 2 targets, he can bounce himself and a target, and bouncing him and Andromeda and just to deck your opponent out is one of the dirtiest plays you can ever do. I pretty much beat 3 people just by using Water Spout Gargoyle completely on his own as a one-of. He did his work, he earned his slot. We have 1 Dark Return, and if I were to do anything different in this tournament, I would take this card out entirely.
Because of Dreadclaw, I'm guessing?
Because of Dreadclaw, exactly. It just didn't do enough, and it wasn't worth returning Keeper of Dawn with it. I guess maybe the only thing it was okay with was for 8 I can play a Lyra, but there were other things I could do with that. Overall, Dark Return did not do all too much. I then ran 2 Scared Orbital Gloomhollow, which I believe are my last blockers. Yes, they are, for a total of 6. Counter Saber Bolt, it can attack. That's probably the biggest thing, so my deck is a little bit low on attackers. So when I play against those 5 million shield trigger decks, he's actually kind of
Greed Dragons.
Greed Dragons, yep. I played against that one too many times. Luckily, this deck has a really strong matchup against it. You discard their hand and win the game.
Yep.
And we have 3 Bone Blades, pretty self-explanatory. You kill stuff with Bone Blades. 2 Death Smoke. I really wanted to fit a 3rd one, but I was already pushing 50 cards.
51.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't push myself to go to 51. It was already getting inconsistent, and I was like, 2 is where it'll stay. And I actually had it whenever I needed it, so 2 was a pretty good number. 3 Puppets, and definitely one of the better choices I had, though I would probably cut it down to 2 in hindsight. This is actually one of the reasons I lost in the top 4 is my opening hand was 2 Spy Missions and 3 Puppets. I looked at my hand and I was like,
Awkward.
well, that was a good career in this tournament. We're done here. Overall though, having a single puppet is normally all you really need for a full game. Rarely did 2 ever really become relevant. I'd rather have 2 just to have it on turn 6, but with 3 Crystal Memory, you'll probably have it. 3 Terror Pit, 3 Terror Pit. I ran 1 Dreadclaw, and if I were to redo this, I would take out Dark Return and run a 2nd Dreadclaw. And I don't run many dragons, but his body is enough to make him valuable because he's 7,000. He trades with so many relevant creatures. He runs over Lyra. He just kills all sorts of stuff. He's really important to play. And he's a finisher, because people are like, oh yeah, that guy breaks 2 shields. Skull Shatter at 2. I actually really liked it at 2. That was probably a better choice to have. I considered 3 for a while, decided out of it because don't need to draw too many Skull Shatters. I play a lot of discard as is. Overall though, self-explanatory card. Control matchup wins you the game if it gets played at the right time. I ran 1 Dracothane, and he pretty much plays the role of the super ultra mega finisher with his triple breaker. And to get 2 Lux back, most of the time he sees the mana zone. But in rare occasions, I'll Crystal Memory for him when I'm really far ahead just to play him to make sure I win. Which I think there was actually a game caught on camera, twice or so that I did that, and it was pretty big.
And he just runs over, what's Andromeda?
Kills
so good,
Andromeda.
yeah.
And then my last 3 Root Traps, which is probably every deck on the planet should play that right now, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
good
so
stuff.
relevant, it makes such a difference.
Right.
Huge right there.
Well, any final words before we sign off?
No, that's about all I got. I'm kind of sad I didn't win, but top 4 is not bad.
No, it's not at all. Good job.
Better than I did.
Me too.
35th place.
Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, whoops. Before you subscribe to Aiden.
Ah, yes, you should do that. Gates Kaijudo. I'm assuming
Yes.
there will be a link down there.
Yeah,
That area.
links everywhere.
All
You'll
the
put
links.
it. I'll put it there.
I'm definitely putting
Links
a
there?
link. Yeah.
Every link. I'll give you fingers all over.
Oh, okay.
That's
Alright, thanks for watching, guys.